Hey everyone, this is DWS Darius, and right now I'm going to give you guys a first look at my 29-gallon Asian stream aquarium. Okay everyone, so right now you're looking at my 29-gallon Asian themed aquarium. This is not the first time you've seen this tank, however this is the first time that I'm going to be talking about it. I'm going to give you guys a look at just how it looks today, what I have going on, my stock list, and just my overall goals for this aquarium. Okay everyone, so the main reason why I started this aquarium was because I fell in love with a certain type of fish, and that fish was the reticulated Hillstream loach, which is this little fish right here. I love these fish because they look just absolutely awesome, and just a very little jittery fish. They're always moving about and just very fun to watch. So after falling in love with this fish, I wanted to make a tank that was just perfect for this fish, something to imitate the natural habitat. Now these fish come from Asia, so that's why I decided to go with a whole entire Asian themed aquarium, and they come from fast moving waters in Asia. You can expect rocks and then tons of algae because they are algae eaters. And so that's the main topic, or the main goal of what I was trying to get from this aquarium: a nice Hillstream tank suitable for my Hillstream loaches. Now for those of you who are more experienced in a hobby, you can easily see that the flow isn't as good as it should be. It's definitely not worthy of being called the river tank, and that's because when I first was setting up this tank, my initial goal was to have a nice cascade of rocks with a power head pushing down. However, I got a little carried away with the aquascape. I ended up adding plants, and in a natural river you won't find many plants because the flow is just too strong. And also this little cave effect over here, yeah, I just got carried away with the aquascape, so I had to compromise with my little river idea. So instead I went and just did a well oxygenated, like little, I guess, bank next to a river. That's the whole goal of this tank, like a bank next to the river. It still has tons of oxygen, however just not with that full force of the river. Now what I did to get the oxygen was, one, I added this plant. This is a Japanese plant. The name I don't know, but I will put a name, or the name of it, in the video so you can see it. But yeah, this is a Japanese plant producing nice oxygen. And also I have this power head hidden at the surface to create as much surface agitation as possible. And that so far is looking awesome. I see no gasping for air. My Hillstream loaches are loving it. Of course, they probably will prefer a little bit more stronger flow. So eventually I may switch this for a bigger pump. But for now, it's doing the job. They are happy, and the tank is looking good. Okay, everyone, so here's a full shot of the tank. You can see I have the nice little higher end and then the bottom end, the plants and everything. So next I want to give you guys a look at the livestock of this aquarium. So of course, the first fish is the Hillstream loach, the reticulated Hillstream loach. I have two of these guys right here. This is the larger of the two. And on that back wall is my original that was in the planting tank. If we come over to this route, you can see a Borneo sucker. I think I pronounced it right. But yeah, I have one of those in this tank. And then after that, I have this nice little school of white cloud minnow, about 12 of them all together. And then in the cracks and crannies, I don't see any right now. And I have some ghost shrimp. Earlier today, they were just all out. They was crawling on my hands because I was doing water changes. Ghost shrimp are definitely some awesome shrimp, great for beginners. So maybe I'll give you guys a video on that later on. And then I decided to top it off with some Malaysian trumpet snails. Now I was very hesitant to add these trumpet snails because they can become pest snails. And in fact, they are a pest in that tank, they are a pest in that tank. They were a pest in that tank up there, but they can become very just crazy when it comes to breeding. However, I can just simply pluck them out when they get too strong of a population. But yeah, that's the current livestock in this aquarium. So far, I do plan on adding a few more suckers. A few more of these reticulated Hillstream loaches, and maybe a few more of those Borneo. As of now, I only have 3. I'll tell you why I only have 3. I did have more, but yeah, as of now, I only have 3. But in the future, I will be adding more. Okay, so I told you guys that I have more than I currently have of these Hillstream loaches, and that's because I originally had 4 of these reticulated Hillstream loaches, and I had 3 of those Borneo suckers, and I also had a school of longfin leopardania before I had these white cloud minnows. And the problem was that I just rushed too much. I made a beginner mistake. So what I did was, first, like after a week when the tank was running, I added this guy. This was the one who was my planting tank. I added him. He was doing okay, so I decided next to add just all the other fish at the same time. Now keep in mind the tank was barely cycled, and just adding such a huge bio load, it was just all the ingredients for chaos. So all those fish died. It was just my fault, and that was the first mistake that I ever made with this tank. And even now, the tank is just recovering from the full cycle. A couple of days ago, I had cyanobacteria, just strings of it coming off the background. It was just crazy, and algae everywhere. And the tank is just now coming to a balanced position. The cycle is just now coming over, and it's just me rushing. So that was the first mistake, or the first problem that I ran into. However, as I said, I will be replacing some of the ones that was lost. Overall, I want to have, once again, 4 of these reticulated Hillstream loaches, maybe 4 of the Borneo suckers. One thing I do got to remember is that this is a 29-gallon aquarium. You know, with me, I'm used to working with all these big tanks. But yeah, this is a smaller tank than what I'm used to, so I got to make sure I don't overstock. Here's a look at one of those ghost shrimp who are finally out. These ghost shrimp are just some awesome shrimp. But yeah, that's a little look at my Hillstream tank. This is my Asian themed aquarium. All the fish in this tank are from Asia, and so far so good. I'm loving it. I got tons of algae. That's all these Hillstream loaches eat. They spend their entire day scraping algae, and this is why I love the Hillstream loaches. They're out all the time. They're just so active, so jittery, as I said before. I have another one back there, and then, you know, these white cloud minnows. These are awesome. You know, before I used to look down on them because they were minnows. However, they definitely look awesome, and just are very social. They're very active. So just an awesome group of fish. And that's going to be the first look at my 29-gallon Asian themed aquarium. So as always, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. If you want more, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because right now I'm surrounded by about 10 tanks, and there's a lot more to come. And thank you all who have watched this video, and that will be all for tonight.